There's levels to the shit.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back again with another installment of the Lev3ls Show. I'm Kofi Cases. Got Dan Mason in the house as always, and a special guest today who we're actually trying to reach his levels. Actually, funny enough. Please introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Ty from LDNRBS, founder of LDNRBS.
Wicked. How are you today, G? You good?
I'm good. This ever-changing weather, but I'm literally...
Do you live out in East London?
Say that again?
Do you live out in East London?
No, I live in Northwest London for now.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, for now?
Yeah, trying to eventually going to be moving out of London, not too long. So, yeah. He put a thumbs up.
It's for pals, yeah? London is not it.
It isn't. I'm not going to lie anymore. The way... There's so many reasons for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm London born and bred, and I love London. But I understand that there's things going on in this city that is making it unlivable for people that even love the city. So for me, nah. Like I'm not gonna be a future. Nah, it's just not. Yeah, there's many reasons. We'll get into that, I'm sure. But there's many reasons.
Listen, don't blame me. I've had many conversations with some pals on similar topics, so it's a case of I understand. I 100% understand, and I feel you. That's why I'm all the way down in Kent. I'm not out of London just yet, but I'm probably gonna be moving a little bit further.
That's why your taxi costs £70 to get home, big man. You know what I'm saying?
He's scratching his head right
you know what I mean? Like you're going Heathrow Airport and that. Good luck.
It's true. Ty, basically on Friday, like I celebrate my birthday, and
Happy birthday, by the way.
DJing. Thank you. We finished DJing. Come out the club, holiday at Uber, and it says £70 from Shoreditch to Bromley. I was like, what?
Crazy.
And I'll get off the bus, and this guy's in an Uber.
That's a real one.
Mad. Bro, what, you want to jump in or?
No, I'm not born like that. I'm not more than £70.
Listen, you obviously, I play these apps up against each other, man. I'll jump on, I'll check the price, and I'll check the price of all of them, and I'll just pick the one that works for my budget, bro. I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to mess with Uber. I hadn't used Uber for a long time because Bolt were giving like 50% off rides. And I was like, yeah, I'm going with these people. And I did Ola for a while. I did this other thing for a while. I'm just like, wherever gets me to my destination at a reasonable price, we'll do that. But Uber were doing astronomical numbers. I was like, nah, bro. But look, as soon as it starts raining a little bit, Uber's going 7 times or some nonsense. I'm like, look, I'm only going up the road. Relax. Relax.
Nah, but the floods yesterday, them scenes of the floods in stations and whatnot.
Oh, crazy.
Listen, I'm telling you, that £70 would have looked all right.
Listen, this is probably one of the reasons why, like, I'll probably end up following Ty out of London, bruv, because trust me, it's not you can't be buying a big. Listen, I looked at houses in London the other day, and I came over and I was like, I had a spare minute, right? And the type of house that we want, the sort of family that we want, and etc. And I'm looking at £6 million. Are you crazy?
Crazy. It is crazy.
And I take one train for 45 minutes. And the price comes down to 300,000. I'll take that one.
And not only that, the environment. When you walk out of the house, you got happy faces. You got friendly faces. You got people that actually like don't mind saying hi to you. Whereas in London, we say hi to each other. It's like, we got to figure out if we want to kill each other first. and then after we get over that as black men, then we can have a conversation.
Do you ever get that weird look when you're walking past another black guy and they stare for too long and you have to give them
out? Yeah,
you got to give them
I'm not going to stab you, so we're cool. There's nothing's going to happen here, so we're cool. That kind of nod.
I'll be just rolling sometimes and like you just feel the energy. Some black guys are cool,
Energy.
and like you know what I mean. And then other black guys just want to give you like a mean mug, and you got to give them, you're right, bro. Like, and then yeah, they're cool, but they just have to
100.
figure you out first, because I don't know if they're at that stage where they understand that we're not trying to kill each other. Like it's not
a real
that
thing.
like.
It's a real thing. As you get older and you get more grown, you start to see between the lines of these type of things. And yeah, it's an added stress that we don't need. Put it that way.
Trust me.
Daniel, with these joke comments, too much violence in London these days. Mates like pure sexy girls and much less violence.
That sounds way better. that sounds like a much. That sounds a lot better.
100%. Daniel, we still need to get you back, G. Still need to get you back.
Yeah, we do actually.
Anyways, what was you gonna say, Dan?
No, I said like for that return of Daniel, I wanna do it legendary, man, because his story is story is something else.
Story. In fact, it's an inner city story, which I think don't get told enough. But anyway, enough about that. Ty, we are here for you today, sir. First of all, tell us about yourself, how you started, actually where you grew up, and then what made you start LDNRBS.
Right. So I grew up pretty much in a family that was heavily based around music, heavily based around mainly music. But then I initially myself started getting into sport, started boxing, in fact. That was pretty much my life early on. Built a certain mentality in me, I guess, that I always attest to. So then after that, I moved on and then went to university, graduated in film production. I still feel like I wasn't there because of myself. I think I was there because I wanted my mum to be happy. But that happened. Yeah, we know how that goes. So that happened. And then basically I tried to apply to about 10 to 15 different creative businesses, like Vice, so many of them. Kept on getting a no. And that was like a constant thing. Just no, rejection after rejection, like many people do after uni. So then I said to myself, you know what? I've got so many creative people around me, so many talented people, in fact, that aren't doing much with their talent. So I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm savvy enough. I think I'm smart enough to build my own bridge and start my own company. And it birthed with LDNRBS, and literally me and a few other friends in a car. We were in my car and we literally just said, "Oh, we're going to name it." And we said, we can't. We always talked about how on media, there's always a perspective that is never ours. But there's never a perspective in media that comes from people that come from where we come from. So we want to do something that's called London and then Rebels. So we're rebellious against the whole of everything else and just giving our own energy. And I think early on, we put out a few live shows. No, we put out a podcast and it went crazy on Twitter. We still ended up getting about, at the time, it was like 300 retweets, loads of interaction. And I think we were all like, rah, like all we did is jump in my car and press record on my phone and then put it on SoundCloud. And then people started to gravitate towards it.
What year was this?
We're talking about maybe 2016.
Okay, so not too long ago, really.
Yeah, not too long ago. So 2016, we put out, before we'd done anything, we put out a podcast. I think it was J. Cole versus Kendrick versus Drake, and like a debate. Just same thing that you always do as friends. And then
I'm sure everybody said Drake would win, right?
Say that again? So
I'm sure everybody said Drake would win.
Nah. I'm a J. Cole boy. I can't even lie to you. I'm J. Cole. Yeah. You said that with so much judgment. So much judgment.
It's in the title of the stream as well. Clout over talent. Hey, we'll get onto that too.
That's definitely a thing. So yeah, we put it out and it obviously got a lot of energy. So we started to ride the wave. And then I think we started to realize people were liking us being our organic selves. And then out of nowhere, we put out a live show called Art-Based Creativity in Shoreditch. And I'll be honest with you, myself personally, I was convinced no one will come. I was convinced, like I was sitting there thinking, we're trying the thing here, but let's just be happy if a few people come, a few friends, all that kind of stuff.
Was
Lo
it
and
a free
behold,
ticketed event or tickets on the
no,
door?
no, we had tickets on the door, literally. So, but again, there's no way to indicate how many people would come, just through Twitter and that kind of energy. We put out this thing, we saw some interaction, out of nowhere we sold out. And I think that day was like the birth of LDNRBS, because I think it gave us belief that we can make things happen. So yeah.
No, wicked. I mean, and then it's just gone from strength to strength ever since. And then what? So then, what became the basis of what you do now? Because from what I've seen, I've been following you guys for probably just over a year.
Yeah.
You guys do so many online talent competitions, and even just as recently as I want to say the end of 2020, maybe even the beginning of 2021, you guys did something with an Amsterdam-based person.
Yeah.
Was it this year or last year?
The end of start of this year.
Yeah. And I was thinking that's just wicked. Like, I mean, you said how you started, but then what kind of steps in between has taken you to having people from Amsterdam hosting your live shows, etc.?
Energy, man, and consistency. Like, we've had so many trials and tribulations. Like, we had a Twitter account at 15K, and then a copyright issue ended up making us lose our whole Twitter account. So we had to go from zero. We went from 15K to zero, and then obviously now we built it back up to 28K. But
what was the copyright issue? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, it's crazy. It's such a background story, man. Like, we basically put out a Jaden Smith song on Instagram to promote one of our live shows. And then someone from a label in the UK, and this is where it makes us think that it was very in-house type of thing, because what the information we got after, it sounded very specific. Somebody
snitched.
Pretty much. And it wasn't from America. It was from the UK, from the university. Okay, yeah. So you've heard who it is. So we got basically, you've heard who it is. It is what it is now. But we basically got an email stating that someone from that department had flagged us up. And obviously at the time, we're young kids that just had we literally are kids that are dreaming of doing live shows and all that kind of stuff. We didn't really know much about copyright or anything like that. We were just trying to do positive things, and it ended up getting taken down. And the only way we were able to get it back is if that label pretty much approved it, got complete air silence from them. So we were again at ground zero. But to be honest,
there's no way they were going to let you not get up there, man.
Exactly.
They were trying to hate, bro.
But then here's the biggest blessing. That happened, and that was as bad mind as you can get. We are now probably 3 times as big as that. So thankfully, by the grace of God. So they did us a favor by doing that to us.
You know what? I'm actually going to throw a question out there to both of you, right? Because obviously I know how hard Sis works to keep levels at a level and continue to try and grow the platform, and everybody that's involved, you know what it means and stuff, and obviously your platform as well. Yeah. These major sort of like labels and stuff that used to be the gatekeepers, do you feel like there's somehow sort of like threatened by all of the platforms that are popping up all over the place? Do you think that they're threatened by sort of like your platform?
It's such a, do you know what? The long and short answer would be yes, in a sense of, and the reason why I would say something like that is they have been the gatekeeper for a long time. And unfortunately, a lot of people in those positions don't really know the culture. They're not really like, people forget sometimes. Someone like me, I always say this to people, I'm a fan first. When I work with people, it's often because I'm an actual fan that listens to your actual music and actually knows how to be in a space with you, because lo and behold, we've come from the same place. So it's very easy for me. Whereas a lot of people from these labels tend to be, not all, but tend to be a lot of people that necessarily don't know what they're doing when it comes to being in the space indefinitely. They know how to open a checkbook, but they might not know how to be in the field. And for me, longevity is being in the field and being from the field. That's how you end up in 6 years from now still being just as strong as you were 6 years before. Whereas I feel like a lot of these people put money into something, they get visibility, and then things die away. And I think that's because the majority in those spaces tend to be a lot of people that, let's be honest, don't deserve to be in this place.
Do you think they're gonna they're gonna clock on and maybe start trying to get trying to pull in some of you guys into
I think it's
into
happening.
what they're doing?
I think it's currently happening. I think currently you are seeing and this is not just in label situations, I mean in a whole lot of media, like you can see they are pretty much going to what they will call the surface level and taking up loads of different spaces. Like Instagram right now is like a scouting field. I mean, a lot of these people are literally jumping on there, jumping in people's DMs and saying, oh, come up here, come up here. And here's the difference. I think right now they still are slightly gatekeepers, and because they have a lot of capital, you can say that. But the difference is there's so many of us that are coming up from the ground up and building our own platforms. Just like you guys. You guys are sick. I've been watching what you guys are doing. You guys are sick. And at the end of the day, there is platforms with people that are talented that are only growing. And there's only a set few that's going to go with these labels and say, and give in. And then there's going to be a whole heap of people that won't give in and know their value. And then eventually, I can only see one winner. Yeah.
What would you say to the people that want to give in, though? Because when you're building something and, you know, you've been grafting and you're grinding, there's one thing that always seems to defeat people is time. Time starts to become a bit of a noose around some people's necks. So after certain periods, they start thinking, well, and then all it takes is for someone like a Universal to come in and say, look, we're going to give you this opportunity. And they just break.
I think it's case by case.
Yeah.
I think it's case by case. You've got to deal with it in a case by case basis, because I can't tell you enough how you have to almost ask yourself too, when someone offers you something, you have to ask yourself, how long do I want to be here for? How long do I really want to be here for? Because in some cases, you're offered something that is going to be, that could potentially be a catalyst for your downfall. Mentally, physically, you never know. Like these spaces sometimes don't necessarily offer the best feelings, and especially for young, talented people that are coming from, let's say, ends, and they're getting a big contract where they get 20K off the back. They've never seen that before, but yet they don't realize that the back end of that is a whole heap of madness. And it really isn't beneficial. I mean, I'll even say this just quickly. When I was not too long ago, when I was more on radio with LDNRBS, I was thinking to myself, I want to be with One Extra. Like, I want to be one of the presenters on this so bad. And I got a good relationship with someone that is up there. And then I remember being in a meeting with him, and he knows exactly who he is. He's a genius. He knows exactly who he is. So we were in BBC One Extra talking. And then he was like, I said to him, he was like, if there's anything I can do for you, tell me. And I was sitting in the back of my head. This is years back now. And I was sitting in the back of my head going, bro, like, you know what you can do for me. Like, give me one of these slots and I'm going to tear it down. And I'm going to go in and blah, blah, blah. He said to me, you don't need this. And then I said, you really don't know what you're talking about. I do need this. And then he was like, no, I promise you, you don't need it. What's happened between then and now is unbelievable, because I ended up building up my own platform to a point where I didn't need it. And it feels 10 times better. I know that if I would have went down that route, I would have went down a structured route, a route maybe I wasn't ready for. But because he knew that I potentially had something in me that was able to build something strong, it's led to so many things for me personally and in my own life, even down to, again, another, I'm running ahead a little bit, but we just signed something with ITV. So even that is something that probably wouldn't have happened if we would have taken on that radio situation. So, yeah.
Bloody hell.
No.
You see what I'm talking about? I'm saying we need to get to this brother's level.
Huh?
I said, this is what I'm talking about when I say we need to get to Ty's level. Because
Man, we will, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just have some faith.
But when you say to Ty's level, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, effectively, everything that you've just said, I've just sat back here in awe because it's just like, that's exactly the journey.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that LDNRBS has done that and actually kind of almost blazed the trail. I still find, like, when I talk to other platforms, there's still some kind of animosity from the day I reached out to you. And honest, I'm not just saying this because you're here. Ty's been the most humble, upfront. Listen, I needed to get a crew of people together for a shoot. Next thing you know, I just hollered at Ty out of the blue. My guy was like, I got the plug. I was like, all right, cool. Man sent me names, boom, on it. Added a group, everything. Humble. And that's because I guess you've obviously already been there and done that. But it's so refreshing to see. And I genuinely think, going back to Dan's initial question about do you think the gatekeepers, aka the labels, are a bit scared of the platforms like ours? I think 100% they have to be, because all we're doing is we're empowering artists almost to be like independent. We're giving an audience and curating something where it's like, okay, cool, you guys, this is the platform. People can see you. You've got 28,000, you say?
Yeah.
You got 28,000. You do your what's it called shows, your talent shows on a monthly basis, correct?
Yeah.
Right. There's so many artists who I knew them before I come across you guys, and I see all of them entering your competitions, and I see why. Because first of all, yes, there's a cash incentive in it and a cash prize, but the talent is just up there as well. And then they get, all of a sudden overnight, they got 600 plus followers. Like a good pal of mine, Samara Sings, she just, I think from when she appeared on your show, top of the year, she just went from strength to strength. She was on 1,000 followers. Now she's on almost 6,000 followers. Amazing. And that's honestly from you guys. And this is why I think the gatekeepers are really scared, because all it takes is, say, for example, a Lev3ls and an LDNRBS, and say, I don't know, another platform, I don't know. There's a group of girls, fantastic girls called Neo Music Mag. Say us three came together and put on a huge concert, like the Originals concert, which just happened over the weekend with Super D and Pioneer. There was 5,000-6,000 people there. So if you come together and do that as a live thing, imagine what kind of flame that or match that is to just light.
Agreed.
And too much of that, and that's why I think actually that a lot more of us should work together. And that's why I'm actually so happy and humbled that you actually said, yeah, let's come up to the show.
This is the thing. Yeah, go on.
I feel like it's just sort of like a mentality, because like in life, I feel like a lot of people sometimes, and this is probably why some people kind of cave as well, because sometimes people almost feel like there's not enough. And at one point, I was kind of similar to you. I was like, yeah, man, it would be sick if I was on like a BBC radio show, doing a show, whatever. Then I was like, actually, you know what? Nah, bro, F that. Like, I'm not doing that. Because it's like, I want to kind of build my own idea rather than kind of just function under someone else's umbrella. I'd rather just have my own sort of platform and do things the way I want to do it, and not, because we always ask artists the same question, like, what would you do if someone huge came in? And it's, some of them kind of get stuck when they come on and they talk to us. They kind of get stuck because it's like, for them, and like I said, from their point of view, it's like they've been putting in so much work. Someone comes and throws a huge amount of money at them. The publicity, that it's a machine. They throw a machine behind it.
Literally.
And whereas, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a tough one for an artist, but for, like, I think for platforms, you have a different question to answer when it comes to the platforms, because you can essentially be that machine, but under sort of like a different mentality and a different sort of like vision, if that makes sense. So
and I've got to say, I say this is a teachable moment for anybody that will be watching this now or after. I can't stress enough how the conversation is different when you build yourself. You can walk into a room as an amazing talent. If you have not pushed yourself and put the effort in for yourself, they will look at you and talk to you like your negotiating money or your negotiating value is not that high, and they will treat you like that. I have not. It's very rare that you will find these people in these positions that won't treat you that way. There is some, but not many. And if you build yourself, you build your network, you really put the effort in, you really put the work in, then I guarantee you, when you walk into that room and you negotiate something, you'll come out feeling like Jay-Z. Because what did Jay-Z do? He didn't say to them, "Oh, yeah, you can sign me." No, you got to sign my whole label, and then we can have a partnership, and then we can move forward. And if not, I'm out. That type of value and building your own self in that kind of way, I think we're just so scared. I think the moment we get money thrown at us, we think, oh, now we can finally look after mum. We can finally look after the family. We can do all of this. But they forget that this money runs out. Like, there's no value in it. If you can really build your brain, then you'll be here for 20 years.
Hey, Meze, 100%. 100%. It's wise words, man. Speaking like an old fella right now, man. Wise words.
Everyone always says that to me. I'm like, everyone literally like, I've been an old man since 12, so but it's all good.
All right. I mean, it's just mind blowing actually just hearing that stuff, and it's reassuring to hear your story and just to know there's a way to go and I can still sell out shows, even though like ticket sales are dead right now. But to be honest, I know exactly what you're saying because I've got pre-tickets. My last one, what's it called that I did in June, the live show we did, ticket sales were like bottom. Next thing you know, get to the venue, Dan was there himself. The venue was nice. It was sold out, but the venue was nice. And this was. I'll say this off the jump. Just from seeing you guys' energy, and this is one thing that I've been trying to. You said something before about trailblazing. The kind of person I am is I really have come into this to be myself. I've not come in to watch other people and then mimic like a lot of people in other brands do. They literally just watch each other and then copy. Whereas me, I feel like I really have tried to put my personality into LDNRBS. Even hearing the way you guys are and knowing what you do, I'm saying off the jump, without even thinking about anything too tough, I would love to do like a show with you guys, like off the jump and add our names and put it together. So yeah, that's straight off the jump, literally. Let's boogie is all I'm saying to that. Because I reckon it would be amazing because I've seen the talent that's true viewers. I know them. In fact, this gets me into another question. Do you have a personal relationship with a lot of the artists that you deal with?
Yeah. That's what I mean when I say
you put the work in.
Yeah, and not only that, when I was young, I always say this to people because I'm like a music geek. When I was young, I stole my older brother's iPod and his his iPod and his music drive to put it on my iPod, and then I would sit down and I would listen to things like I used to get lost to people like Amy Winehouse, Nas, old Ghostface Killer, like everything, like proper real music that I used to really study and get into it. But then the only thing that upset me a little bit was the fact that I couldn't touch them, couldn't speak to them, I couldn't have a conversation with them. Whereas these days, I used to and then you fast forward a few years, I still kept that same energy, and I'd go on SoundCloud and I'd find these artists and I'd be like, what's their at? And then I'd DM them, and then we'd have conversations. And that to me that started off very early. And I remember, I don't know if you know the artist Nux.
Nux?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that I'd done with LDNRBS was hear one of his songs. And I DM'd him at this time, and he'll know this too. You have a great relationship. He had about 200 followers at the time. And I DM'd him and I was like, bro, you are cold. We've still got the DMs now. I was like, you need to, you are going to be off. He was our first ever LDNRBS interview too. And yeah, you can go, it's still online too now. And we literally was like, we know that you're the future, blah, blah, blah. Now he's gone on to astronomical things. But it's crazy how we can have conversations with people and just connect with people. And for me, that's like something that I don't think I'll ever lose. Whenever I hear an amazing talent, I'm just like, let's have a conversation. Let's just talk. And then from then on, it builds to be something where we know each other. So yeah.
100%. I mean, it's something that I think the last artist that we were putting out, what's it called? Our Lev3ls sessions, Amelia. She's actually from near Bath, and she was in London. So I was like, cool, I'll come through and I'll pick you up and I'll take her to the shoot that we're doing. And next thing we were doing, she said, what's it called? You want to put on one of her songs? I said, to see how it sounds in the car. Yeah. So put it on now, and she's all there, and I'm singing along to her music. So, right, music. I'm like, oh, what do you think this is? Like,
straight up.
I'm a fan. No offense, I would not go through this much effort and actually invest in this if I actually wasn't a fan of your music. And I think some of the upcoming artists are actually almost taken back by that. It's like I've only got like 1,000
because there's so many people in this industry that is like they're so uptight. They're so like everything's a business transaction to them. Everything. Like if you have a conversation to me right now, it's like, okay, well, I charge £5 an hour like for every word. It's like, and I genuinely think people in their heads are like that.
Yeah. The whole scene's like that. The whole scene, like
literally
from top to bottom, for everyone involved, everyone, even DJs. It's just, bro,
everyone's feeling themselves, and that's why I like doing things that people necessarily don't think I should normally do. Like when people say, even on LDNRBS account, when we reply to things straight away, I reply to almost everything. And then people be like, I didn't expect you to reply. I'll be like, I'm just a normal human being, just like you are.
I genuinely didn't.
I'm just. Well, even that, it's like I'm just like you. We're no different. This is whole internet thing is like a facade. It's a real, genuine facade, and
it's a sadness, man. That's what it is.
It's a sadness. I completely agree with you, because it's funny how people seem to sometimes believe that because there's big things happening or big things have happened, that somehow I become a new person. It's not that. We're the exact same.
I'll tell you a quick story. So Saturday, I was DJing at this event, and I partly put the event on as well because it's like my partner. We do bits together. So this guy, I don't know, we got talking mainly because he was trying to holler at some chick behind me. And he was getting way too close to me. So I was like, bro, like, and he's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. And then he starts talking. But this guy, he is somewhat of some kind of celebrity somewhere. And like his whole attitude, like he just starts talking to me and he starts listing off the things he's famous for. And I'm like, bro, like, I really don't care. Like, I really, even in a fucked up way. It's just like, bro, like, I just want to talk to you, man. Like, if you want to have a conversation with me, let's talk like men speaking to each other.
Thank you. I'm so happy you said that. That 3-letter word, men. You just talk. No matter what you've done online, when you stand in front of me, you're a man, and I'm a man. So let's respect each other and let's move forward.
No, people don't see it like that. People get so jumped up, and it's like a couple of weeks before that we did this other event, but we were handling some other parts of the event, and all of these celebrity type folks. I don't want to bait them up because it's work. I want to get some more work, but at the same time, like I said to my pal, like some of these people are so shallow, like they're literally so shallow. And one of them was actually really down to earth, and I was like, I didn't think he was like that, but he was a genuine guy. But the other guys were just from the behaviors. I was just like, I feel sorry for these people because they live off the people knowing who they are and. You know, wanting them to do something and they then behave in a certain type of way. I feel for like those people, I don't know if damaging is the word, but it's more like I'm not sure if I would want to be one of them.
It is damaging. No, you hit it right on the head. I think that these people are going through genuine mental trauma. And there's a lot of people be like, oh, that's a bit much. It really isn't. If you really delve into a lot of these people's brains, I genuinely think like, even the word creative is now a cool thing to say. I'm a creative. I'm a creative. People forget that creatives, in my eyes, are people that are trying to create other forms of happiness. Whereas you go online right now and you'll find creatives taking 15 different selfies, not replying to anyone, not really feeling like they can be spoken to by anybody because they're so lit. For me, it is about being a good human being. And no matter how high you go, like, being able to keep that mentality in and keeping that energy about you, I think is going to be the testament of your legacy. Because at the end of the day, we only live once. So I'm trying to put as much smiles on faces as I can. I'm not really trying to be them.
Look at it from this point of view then. Like, obviously Levels and your platform, two platforms. Obviously you guys are huge, right? And we're trying to build Levels into something, not huge, but something genuine and something real. But with that, if it just blows up into something crazy, you're gonna get a different level of people. The volume of people coming at you is gonna be higher. So do you think you would still have the same approach to it, like where you do respond to everybody individually? And
it's got hard.
How would you? Well, do you know what I mean? How do you manage that being in your position where it's like you've gone from here to here, and you've got more people, different types of people trying to talk to you for different things, and sometimes you might get the wrong. I wouldn't say the wrong type, but people that are trying to use you, etc. That kind of stuff. Like,
that happens. I would say for me, I'll tell the truth. Before, I was a lot more able to respond to everything and deal with everything with the same amount of care. And I made a thing about it. I always repeat, even at shows, people come up after me, and see me and be like, "Oh, I got this question for you, blah, 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 blah." And I'd always have to give everyone time. Always. I think that's just who I am. But in the last, even down lockdown, we went up from I think it was about 16K to 28K. And you can just see that the attention is a lot higher. It's impossible now to do that. But what I can do is still give out that good energy. You're never going to be that person that can spread themselves thin within every single person around you. There is going to be times, as much as even though I'm an attentive person, I mess up in it. So I think at this point, it's one of those things where as much as I can do, even if there's an opportunity out there, right now, I'll become, don't know if I can say it, but I don't know if I can say it, but I'm a part, maybe I can say I'm a part of something that can help people. And even right now, at this present moment, I'm in a position where I can help certain people in certain things and give them a certain opportunity. For me, if I can continue doing those things, I can't do it all, but as long as I can do those things, I know I'm giving back in some way. So yeah.
So how big's your team currently?
It's a mad one because our team is heavily I couldn't give you a number because our team is heavily consisted through, we all met each other in a youth club basically many years ago, and we've stayed friends for that long time. There's a whole heap of us in that way, and then there's a few people that have been added along the way, but you're looking at in excess of, in terms of associated with LDNRBS, maybe around 10 to 15. Wow. Yeah.
And people are actively hosting the shows and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's a number. Yeah, around that, literally. So we've just got a circulation of people that are always in the same circle with us.
Wicked. I'm going to touch really quickly on the topic, which is the topic at hand, or what I've labelled this stream, which is clout over talent, basically.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've only got an hour, and this is a rabbit hole that me and Mace go down almost every week without fail, whether it's intended or unintended.
Yeah.
We always go down this route. Now, you listed a couple of artists at the beginning, like Amy Winehouse, your Nas's, your Ghostface, etc., like that. I consider them highly talented people.
Agreed.
Fast forward 20 years, I think a whole bunch of talent has been pushed out. You got a couple. You got like your Kendricks and your J. Cole's, for example, who have got really talented poets and stuff like that, who are still there. But you got the ones who scream loud. Nothing against Cardi B, she screams loud, but I don't rate it much. That's just me.
Yeah.
Migos. I like the Migos at times, but I understand they're not the best.
No.
Long story short, why do you think we've become such, not we, because I'm not going to put myself in that. Why do you think people have become such clout focused rather than actual talent focused people. Where does this come from?
There's a whole lot of sheep in this world. There's a whole lot of people that don't necessarily like what they like and then just stay firm with it. I mean, I could probably delve one artist right now that is this is why people don't want me to go. People within LDNRBS don't want me to go and do these conversations because I'm too honest. Literally, I speak too much. But there's one artist in particular that I think of right now that is good, but is not great. But he is probably one of the biggest artists around right now. And it doesn't make sense to me. Say that again?
UK or worldwide?
UK. For sure, but at the same time, it's a hard one because. So you say again?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not even going to disclose the name, but
it's 1 or 2.
Yeah, I probably am aware of the 2 people you're probably talking about. If I was being honest, but yeah, we'll speak about it after. But I would say in terms of clout. I think that it just runs deep in this culture, especially UK culture. Because, you know, like that thing I just did right there where I told you that I don't necessarily mess with something. That's like a rare thing. People aren't necessarily honest. When it comes to you as a person, that's one thing. Like, or you as a man, that's one thing. That's a respect thing. It's a completely different thing. And then when if you were to put out an album tomorrow, as much as I respect you, if you come out of an album and it's not great, I'm allowed to critique you. But there's a weird thing in the UK where you can have 100,000 likes in an hour, and that means you've got a great album before you put out the album.
From Nottingham, yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna have to tell the story again. Yeah. Listen. So basically, long story short, I've been DJing for about a decade now. Flipping out.
Amazing.
But I've always held residencies, and I held a residency in the Midlands when I was up there, and I had this particular person that was pushing for me to play their music. And as a DJ, you get that all the time, anyways. It is what it is, and you just, you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I've always been one of those people that've been honest. I did not play this song at the time because I would be lying to myself and barefaced lying to the person. Like, so I said, you know what, it's not going to happen. Fast forward, when's the last time we did that event in Camden? What year was that?
2019.
Fast forward to 2019. Bumped into the same person. Yeah, like it was like literally, because I'm talking, this was going back to when I met this person. It was 2010 or 11.
Wow.
So, right. So, mad.
By the way, we had no idea about
this.
We only discovered this when we talked over the phone, like about a week later after the event.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Sis said to me, yeah, bro, like, because I said, you know, so and so was trying to get me to, you know, lick music, and he was like, bro, I had this conversation, and it went the other way, went left, because she was very cool, and then after a sudden it just got real icy. So I said to Sis, what happened? And he was the same. He had the same conversation, and he was quite honest.
I'm brutally honest. I can't help it.
But he unfortunately posted it on the platform.
Listen, but the thing is,
gave an honest opinion of the situation.
No. You're missing out something. I didn't say it was trash. The crowd did.
That might be worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I kind of did it on purpose. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of did it on purpose because I said to them,
it might not work.
Totally, it wasn't powerful. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't up to scratch. So I don't think it would have got a high mark. So I kind of did it just so, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm not lying to you.
I tell you where I lost faith, right? Not that I had much faith before, but I lost faith when I heard the song being played on 1Xtra.
Oh, wow.
I lost faith, and I said to myself, me and Sis, without even really knowing that we was talking to the same person, we spoke about it because it was that bad, right?
Yeah.
And then I hear it on national radio, and I said, "Bruh, this is it." And I sent this to one of the guys that runs the station that I'm on, and I had a woman slide in my inbox and said, like, this is one of the reasons why we listen to your station, because you guys keep it 100, like One Extra in those stations. And it's no disrespect to One Extra, but they do their thing. I want them to I'm happy for them, and I want them to blow and keep all the successes they have. But they're missing the people that kind of got them there from the start. They've left those people behind, and they no longer just like kind of what you said about these people in Universal who they have no idea. They don't know the people. They don't know the culture. They have no idea. They're so far from it. It's crazy. And also, it's kind of just shocking. Anyway, it is what it is. You just have to,
I completely get what you guys are saying, because that kind of energy seems to run. It's stronger now. So I completely get it.
It's fully strong. But I mean, we just have the conversation all the time, because I see, again, your platform. We've had Lee, like I said, Leon. We had him a while back, and I said from a long time ago, I think the guy's flow is just mad. His content, if you really listen to what the guy's saying, his wordplay is crazy.
Very talented.
Incredibly talented guy.
Look at Essence.
Essence, well, we had this US artist.
She is so dope, bro.
She sent us an exclusive, and
so dope.
A radio show. Like, it was probably a UK exclusive. Nobody in the UK has this. Dan dropped it, and Dan's your inbox was flying off. Even the manager, even the
blowing up,
was like, "Who the hell is this?"
As soon as I played it, myself, like, let me get some of that. I was just like, right, but the problem is, because we've had her on before, and obviously now that we're in a conversation of Clout, etc., especially for female artists, I feel like it's hard for them. I feel like it's real difficult for female artists at the moment to break through. If you keep your clothes on.
Oh my gosh! Let me tell you a few reasons, and this is someone that has a notorious history of working with females. I've worked with so many females within this industry, and one thing that is a common denominator is always this obstacle of going to studio. I know so many female talented artists that have to get over the obstacle of making sure the guy doesn't like them before they can get. Do you know how many? I wish someone would be more. I'm very vocal about it. I wish someone was even more vocal about it, in the sense of, I know so many females that have gone to studios and had. This sounds wild, and I can tell you there's 3 different people. Would never say their names, but they know who they are. 3 different people that I know that have been working with LDNRBS that have had situations where their content has been withheld, and we've had to step in. And then it comes to light that really it was more about let's talk on a personal level, and then it goes left. Their egos messed up, and they're like, I'm not giving you anything. It's crazy.
See this. I've got a pal that's a strong feminist, and that's the kind of shit that she literally loses her shit over. She loses her mind over.
We don't hear about it enough,
because and that's what pushes. Because you've got someone like me who's like very center. I'm quite centered. I'll listen to everyone. I feel like conversation is the key to anything. But then shit like that drives some people that way. Like,
I get it.
It drives them that way. And then it makes it hard for other people who like the platforms that we're talking about today to do certain things, because
trust
is sometimes trust, and it breaks the flipping trust. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because that relationship that should be there now comes with almost like a warning sign, like
facts,
because some idiot is doing not doing his job, basically. Do your job, do the music. Do the music, innit?
And that's why, even as men, I really would love to build something that is like female friendly, female engineers. And I know as a man that might sound quite intrusive, but I've been so backwardly inspired by these idiots that spend so much time trying to manipulate young, talented females, because there is a whole heap of them that just want studio time, but just studio time. So yeah.
Well,
you know what? Do you know what?
listen.
Do you remember FB? Oh no, she wasn't in this conversation. I had a private conversation with a singer that we work a lot with called FB, and she one time said, I have to make sure I go to studio not all dressed up and this, that, the other, make myself look butters or something like that. Just to make sure that person doesn't like check me out or like me before letting me record.
Just imagine how stressful that is. Just imagine how, just as men, just imagine how stressful that is.
Absolutely, it's a mazzoline.
And you know, most time that guy's gonna be physically bigger than you. If he was a psycho, you never know. He could just switch it up on you like that. All that kind of energy, long. And we all know. I'm sure you got sisters, you got family that are females. Just imagine if that's them.
I'm quite sort of like a prideful person. I feel like, and that I kind of just look at people that do shit like that. I'm just like, what are you thinking, bro? Like. Well, how can you use your position? How do you do that?
It's exactly that.
How do you do that?
We just want for too much power sometimes, and when you got that power,
because
you want to abuse it.
Like, yeah, but women are the gatekeepers, bro. So I don't care what no one says.
I'm gonna be real with you.
There's none of us that could go out there right now and just listen. And there's good-looking men out there, but some guys got it, but he might, even if he's like a 10 out of 10 guy, he might be able to go out there and get 3 out of 10 women. But women could go out there and easily get 10 to do whatever they want to do. So as far as I'm concerned, they are the gatekeepers of this thing, right?
And we don't respect them enough. Because I'm gonna be real with you. If it wasn't for women, this is such a big point. If it wasn't for women, LDNRBS wouldn't be where we are. And I think we've got, I'll say this, I've not said this out loud, but we're basically, there's a documentary coming out documenting our history in not too long. And I think when people see that, they're going to realize just how significant some women have been with our whole journey. So yeah. Mad.
It's big. You
know what it is? I think someone said it like a couple months ago. Like, I feel like as men, we probably need to highlight that behavior more. It's like if you had a pal, you went out for a drink, couple pals, and one of them was moving mad. You gotta just grab him, big man. You're moving mad. You got
in the end,
you need friends like that though. You need friends. You need a friend that will. I know I've got the people I have around me. I know for a fact that if I'm moving wild, who cares about ego? Who cares about anything? I'm gonna be pulled up and then just be like, bro, you need to chill. And that type of energy, that it doesn't mix with some people. So cowardly shit.
100 million%. I think LDN touched when we were speaking to an artist called LDN, so we were touching on all black female music label, which will be wicked. Platforms like Girls I Rate, wicked. And the other Girls I Rate,
100%.
Girls I Rate,
man, for sure.
Strawberries and Cream.
Girls of Grime too.
Yeah. All helping to really shine a bigger light on women within the music industry and stuff like that, which we need more of. It's sad that you have to create almost dedicated platforms like that and it's not just to be shared, but I'm still proud of the fact that these platforms have been created. And
I wish we didn't.
Just
like you just said, I wish we didn't. I wish we didn't have to. Like, it would be nice if it just weren't even that. That's why I always feel weird when people say to me, have you ever thought about having an all-black crew? And in my head, I'm like, do you know what I want? I just want the best people. But I'm not actually prejudiced to anyone. So it could be a white person, it could be an Asian person, it could be a black person. But I treat everyone the same. That's the way forward.
See, this was my argument with LDN because I was like, in my head, and this goes to everything that I see happening in society at the moment.
With who? LDN or LDN? Sorry.
LDN. Sorry, I've got a name.
NDN.
NDN. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so it's like.
Why are you for time already, man?
Listen, you're a fool. I completely just dropped that in there. Right. No, but what I'm trying to say is, it's like I would rather just have the best people than specifically pick a team based on race or color or whatever.
No.
I would rather just have the best people doing the job, especially like in specific areas of society that we're dealing with at the moment. I don't want some people getting a job just because they're in part of a certain group. Whereas, like, if there's someone that's better in that position, and they just happen to be, I feel like there's something just not that doesn't sit right with me. Like 100, I'm not gonna lie. I do want opportunity for people. Don't get it twisted. Like I'm all for the opportunities because I feel like opportunities have been held back and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we need to be looking at that maybe comes from our competitive nature anyways, but we need to be looking at the best. If you're trying to build a team and you're trying to do the best thing that benefits the people that's involved, and give the best product to the people that you're trying to create it for, you've got to have the best people in those positions.
And you know what I've got to say, and this is not a knock, because there's some brands even right now that I know is geared towards just black things that I support and I love, because at the end of the day I'm black, so of course I would. But here's my problem. When I was younger, my mum always taught me that anybody that you come across as racist, you have to treat them like they're stupid. Because are you really going to be so upset? Are you going to really sit here and be upset? Are you going to sit here and be angry and upset over someone that doesn't like you because of the color of your skin? So how stupid does that make you? So then later on now, I look at these things and I think when people say stuff like, oh, I'm going to have an all black crew. In my head, I'm thinking, if we follow that ethos, we're doing that as a reaction to idiots. We're reacting and we are using the exact same ethos that upset us, which is created by an idiot. So why don't we just come out of our own style, be who we are, and move forward? Literally, the only thing I'm trying to take from a reaction from idiots is gospel music, and that's about it. Literally, straight up.
Idiots.
Straight up.
Just a quick one. Just a quick one. In saying that, then, how do you feel then, black folks? So, because black TikTokers are on this kind of strike from doing lots of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the black culture, our music, the music that we generally produce, the hip hop, the R&B, we are heavily influenced in the world, but it's being bitten left, right, and center from people of other races, and black people not getting their just rewards.
Yeah.
How do you think then? What is the best way that you think we should react to that?
Us as black men, women in general, as much as I don't believe that we need to react to things that are happening to us in that way, I do believe that we need to start looking at each other and loving each other. And let me tell you, as a reaction to what I'm saying, I know our style gets bitten from everyone, everything. I see it all the time. I even see some of the biggest UK artists right now that are white, that don't have to be as good, but will get the most love. Now, here's my thing. If we as black people start to really open ourselves up around each other and start to actually amplify each other, then when it comes to these people from other races, because don't get me wrong, some of them are great. I'm not saying that all of them aren't, but some of them understand the culture and they respect it. But it's not necessarily about them. It's about the perception of them. And the fact that it really, really irks me when you got certain situations where we don't support each other as it is. So why do you think, like, at the end of the day, what we have done, urban culture has become popular culture. So everybody loves it. And you got to remember, the majority of this world is white. So therefore, if it's popular culture now, everybody's going to get involved. Everybody's going to start doing their thing. Now, black people can't necessarily look at it and be upset that, okay, well, this artist has come through, that artist has come through, and they're not black. They're not from the black culture. Because at the end of the day, they just want to see a like-minded individual. There is no coincidence why Eminem is the biggest selling artist of all time. There's no, and he's not the best. If anyone wants to sit here and tell me Eminem is the best rapper of all time, I will throw the book. I'll throw everything at you.
He's not. He's top 10.
But he's maybe. I can maybe come out of 10 that's I'll be honest with you. I could probably tell you 10 right now that is better than Eminem. Big L, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Ghostface Killer, Nas. That's enough. So that's just me, for me. But Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, it's not his problem, but I think at the end of the day, they are always going to amplify what is like-minded to them. If it looks like you, then you want to make it great. But on our side of things, when we see a black brother doing amazing things, we just look at him. We ain't even trying to buy his album. We're trying to buy our own album.
Yeah.
Support him.
True. Very, very true. And in saying that, I think that's why sometimes when other platforms see Levels posting their events and bigging them up, they're like,
surprised.
Literally, they go, "Oh my God, thank you for that." I'm like, okay, no problem. But at the end of the day,
it's the mentality that's built in us.
Simple as
so
that.
strange, man.
It's
Like
not
people think you're a weirdo if you show them a little bit of love, bro. It's just like, yo,
do you know, people used to get weirded out with me when I used to be at shows and I would like show that I like music. I'll never forget it. One thing I definitely know, when I was first started LDNRBS, I would be in the crowd sometimes and I would be like vibing with the music and I'd pop it into it and people be like, but why is he giving it up to them that much? And I'm like, because I'm a fan of music. I'm not sitting here trying to, do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I think it's.
Oh, you cut out, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, you've cut out. You muted yourself somehow. Yeah, you muted yourself. Nah, there you go.
My back.
Yeah,
we kind of live in a society where I feel like it's a herd mentality where everybody just feels like they need to, back to the whole clout thing. Everybody just needs to go and jump on whatever they think is popular. Or I see it all the time when I'm DJing. I'm looking out at the crowd. People sometimes they hear a song, and even though like if you actually sit back and listen to the song's a great song. But if their friends don't like know it, or if it's just like sometimes people are just like, and it's weird. It's like people are waiting to see how they should respond or react to things based on how everybody else responds.
And bro, I've got to say this too. You see the concept of, I don't know if you've ever seen, but you got LDNRBS and then you've got the abbreviation under it, the name under it, Art Bridge Creativity. Now, I went to a live show. I don't know if you guys know the platform Art Meets Music.
Art Meets Music?
Yeah, there's another platform called Art Meets Music. Just before I started LDNRBS, I went to a show and basically we were in London and there was an artist called Malik the Fourth who was performing. The whole crowd was looking at him like he was really going in. Like he was going in, like really trying to get them into it. And they were just looking at him like, yeah, okay. Can't wait for you to get off. Like they all came out, got their haircuts, got their clothes ready to stand and look at him. No energy at all. And then he basically put on his second song and he kept on going. And then you could see people were starting to get with it. And then by the end of the third song, everyone was jumping with him. Now, after that, I was like, to me, that's art. And like, it breeds creativity. It allows people to, if you're able to be that person that can open the doors for someone and trailblaze and make people feel like you're comfortable enough to be who you want to be, then going forward, everybody starts to run like that. But I wish there was more people that would be that first person that would rock with him. I wish there was more people that would be that first person to go, you know what, I mess with that. Let me be free enough to support him. But unfortunately, if people see what you failing, they'll just carry on watching. They ain't going to say shit to you. So yeah.
100%. I always say LMA for the UK. For me, one of our biggest tragedies because she was doing this music thing heavily. Mustard comes, picks her up, next thing you know, booed up is everywhere. And it's sad because she was she still is one of ours. We just literally didn't show her love.
It's embarrassing for England if you look at it from like a global standpoint, because it's just like, how do we have someone as sort of powerful vocally as LMA and we just like literally just threw her to the wayside, but then we're promoting some of the trash that we promote? What are we doing, bro?
It's so true.
It's true.
So true.
It's true. Like I almost wish that LDNRBS was as big as it is now. Back in 2016 when we formed, because that's when LMA.
She would have been someone that we would have been all over.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine her like being like, oh, hold on, I've got this wicked single. I can release it independently. This, that, the other. Bang. You don't need to go to America and find DJ Mustard or vice versa.
Facts.
Then
Facts.
honestly,
But look,
really
is it not
drives
the same situation as what you're saying, Ty? Like where like you hit like a bump in the road, but then you emerge from that bump because she didn't get the love, but then she managed to bump into someone that took her to a different level. And
same thing with Little Sims. Same thing with Little Sims.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
So crazy. But listen, I'm happy for everybody that's winning, bro.
Facts.
Ty, I know we're running a tad bit over time. Let's just go to the last thing real quick.
Yeah, we're good.
What's in the future for LDNRBS?
Wow. I don't like answering that question sometimes because if someone asked me that about 3 months ago, I would have told them, and then nothing like that has happened. So, like the last 3 months creatively has been a godsend, and I can't lie, like it's been a blessing in so many ways, and things that I wouldn't have thought would have happened. So, for me, all that matters to me is being able to build with people, with brands like yourself, amplify us as a culture, and do things that haven't been done before. That's my main aim, and do it in a way that isn't the status quo. I think that's the biggest aim for me, and do it in good faith. So yeah, that is us in abundance, LDNRBS, man. And I really hope anybody that watches that does their own brand too, please keep on going. Because I guarantee you the one thing that allowed me to be where I am now, thankfully, is because I didn't stop. And I guarantee you God put enough boulders in front. And I kept on going. I kept on keeping faith, even when I was at night thinking, this isn't for me. Like, I put so much work and effort into this. There's even times where I put out content, no one's listening. Next thing you know, a lot of people are listening. Next thing you know, you've got one of the biggest corporations in the country saying, we want to offer you a contract. So to me, just keep faith and it won't stop.
Trust me.
Just question something real quick. Can you name one situation which made you really doubt what you're doing?
Wow. One situation that makes me
just one. You might have a few.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let me give you two. I think I think everybody in every field will have this, where you'll feel like you've got so much qualities for yourself, but these people that haven't got as much qualities as you is getting a leg up from somewhere. That can discourage you, because you're like, I know I'm more talented than this person, but they've got this leg up. So that can discourage you in itself. But I think age and maturity also shows you that you don't even need to worry about it. You're on your own journey. That person will go down whatever journey that, and just be happy for them. Pray for them. When they even get into the situation, like, be happy for them. But just worry about yourself and keep consistent, and you ain't going to stop. Another one would be, as a creator, I think, or a content creator, I think sometimes people get really messed up in their head about engagement. I've noticed that, especially in 2021. It's a new craze. Engagement is, it's like a mental thing. But I want people to really simplify it. Like, simplify what it means and simplify what it does. Ironically, it's quite weird that now that we've got so much engagement, I stopped caring about engagement, which is such a weird thing. And it's not because we've got it. It's because I realize the significance of it. It plays with your head too much. It's not that relevant. And also, there's so many ways to build what you do. Like conversations like me and you. Now we know each other. Now, if you ask me to post something up, I'm probably just say, bro, I got you. And we do it from there. There's plenty more people like me. There's engagement groups, even things like that. But I think putting so much significance in these minor things, when you can just work hard and consistently go, these things come. They literally come. But there's a lot of people that get so lost in that world that they become obsessed with it. They start doing overzealous things, and then they start to make mistakes, and then they give up. because it didn't happen within an hour. If you just stay consistent, and the biggest, and I would say this straight up, the biggest win that I would tell my younger self is just keep going. There's no other way about it. Just keep going. Even if you think it's doing too much, I put too much money into this, I ain't got no get back yet. I've got this bill coming out, blah, blah, blah. No, keep going. Believe me, from this side, keep going. Whatever this side is. So yeah, whatever this is.
100%. I mean, Daniel's still here commenting. I mean, he's a definition of keep going and never giving up, and then you can change it.
Love that.
Oh, I always speak. Honestly, Dan, I always speak your story because it's just insane. But anyway, Ty, we've kept you for what, an hour and 10 minutes.
Now it's been a pleasure. Honestly, it's been a pleasure, man. Good people.
Wicked combo. And I mean, when people watch this back and just take pieces of what you've heard, I mean, the positivity is real. And the willingness, obviously, to work with us is real as well.
Definitely.
Which is rare, because myself and Dan and Tash, who I also work with, we've come across a good few characters in our early journey already. And it's almost just like, why are you being like this? And then you come across you almost like a seasoned vet, and you're here just giving out so much positive energy and just level-headedness. Is just wicked. I appreciate you so much, man, and honestly, thanks for almost blazing the trail. Like you said, you don't want to be a trailblazer, you just want to do you, but you have in that blaze the trail and giving me, just in this conversation, just like a more of a reassurance to keep doing what I plan to do with Level.
Definitely.
And keep taking it to the next level. So,
well, I thank you guys for even allowing me on here and having a conversation. It's been therapeutic for me too to even speak it out loud. So I thank you guys. And I would not a shameless plug out here, but we've just announced a series of shows at Box Park, 24th of August. I would love for you guys to come down and just catch a vibe. But the first one is at Box Park, Croydon. So that's the first one.
That's done already.
Yeah, so that's going to be there, 24th of August. We're all going to be there. And
I won't be in the country, but next.
Oh, for real. There's another one the month after. So we'll come through. But yeah, man, just we'll connect. And like I said, I 100% believe we're working with each other now. So 100%. Let's move forward, man. 100% blessed.
100%. Last question. Where are you from? What country? What's your heritage?
My background is Bayesian and Grenadian.
Okay.
What did you think?
No, I'm just asking because Dad knows what I'm getting at.
What? Say that. We'll say it again.
No, Dan knows what I'm getting at. That's why.
I've been on this show getting.
No, I'm not gonna go.
These guys from the continent have been trying to bully me, bro. You know what I mean?
For what continent? Which continent?
It's been. You know what I mean? I'm like, look, we're here, innit? Yeah, we're here.
Listen, Caribbeans are strong today. I'm from Ghana, innit?
Yeah.
So I love firing the shots at.
That's what I called him. I told him about his Ghana head at the start of the show.
Where are you from? Where are you from, Dan? Where are you from, Dan?
Oh, so my parents are from Montserrat and St. Kitts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's my comments about goat water all the time.
It's a fool.
I need to start watching you lot show. I can't even lie to you. You're hilarious, man.
You know what? I'm not even gonna listen. What I'm saying is we have been strategically eating with knives and forks for a long time. I'm gonna leave it there.
What?
I'm gonna leave it there.
Shut up, man. You guys eat me with foot. Stop it, man. Anyways, hey, that's no disrespect to anybody with disabilities. You have to eat with it. But I have to put it.
Definitely.
God damn. Anyway, guys, as always, these days I'm slipping in. I have no idea who's on next week, but we have a show next week, so tune in. We've also got a live show actually Wednesday. At the Looking Glass Cocktail Club. Ty, if you're about, come down, because
100.
personally, this lineup, all of them will be on your show, and all of them will be in the finals. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to watch them. How do you mean? Show me what it is after. Send me something.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not streaming it. It's like you have to be there.
Yeah, send me the flyer and I'll definitely see if I can make it happen for sure.
Wicked. All your team, holler at them. They can come and everything.
I will.
Everybody check that out. Tickets are available via the link in the bio on our Instagram or levels.uk. And yeah, hopefully soon we can hook up with Ty and LDNRBS. Never know what we can do. You never know.
I hear it. Definitely.
In a year's time or 2 years' time, I'm never going to say never at all. And I'm definitely open for it because together we're stronger.
Agreed. Completely agreed.
Anyways, guys, that is it for us. Peace and love. Thank you, Dan.
Always. Love, guys. Bless.
Out of here.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit.